Well,
Okay.
no, but I mean, I never heard of these before you started doing them.
I love these little sessions because
Yeah.
like it's just you and I now.
Uh-huh.
We're recording now, but other folks who may not be able to make it at this time or whatever, they probably have the same questions. They just,
Yeah.
either they don't have the time to email or whatever it may be. So these sessions I found are helpful for everybody because
And
if it's just us, they're valid questions that
I
everybody.
started emailing you last night and I just went to sleep on it. I'm like, I can't even form my questions right now.
Okay. Well, good.
So here I am. So if you
Okay.
answer all my questions, I'll delete the email.
Okay. So if I see an email, I'll say, oh man, I didn't do my job. Okay, so we're going to talk about the personal behavior modification right now, right?
Yes.
Where we're at.
So yeah, that one.
Okay. So the question, well, go ahead and say, could you say your question again, Gail? So everybody
Wait, it's recording right now?
Yes.
Okay. So when I clicked on this where it says personal behavior modification project overview, like if you go down there,
Right.
yeah, right there. So it says to put the information in a table and see the table. Wait, go down. Where did it go? See that? Okay, that table right there. That has Monday with a bunch of tallies on it for the behavior that that you track before you make the changes. So I guess in my case, I'm tracking how many times I eat at home and how many times I eat out every day for the next two. Oh my God, there's an airplane over my head. Every day for the next 2 weeks. So do I have to go back when the 2 weeks is over? Do I have to go back and get all my Monday data and just put them all in tallies like that? Because right now it's in and out meals. Does that make sense?
What do you mean by in and out meals?
It's right now it's on a calendar that's tallied for meals in and meals out every day, every meal.
Yeah. So right now so if you eat a meal in, it's going to be an I. If you eat a meal out, it's going to be an O, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking
No,
in
I'm
and
not
out.
talking about the fast food
I
place.
love in and out.
Sorry, people who don't live in California, sorry, we have a burger place called In and Out here.
Okay, so sorry, I kind of digressed there for a minute.
Sorry.
So what you're going to do is you're going to tally that if you have a pocket calendar or if you use your phone or however you choose to do it.
Yeah.
Once you're done with those 2 weeks, you're going to want to make a table and you're going to want to make a chart.
But you see how it says Monday right there? And it has just a bunch of tallies.
Yes.
So that means I go back to my Monday and get all the tallies from Monday.
No, okay. Well, what you're trying to do right now is something, this is just an example here. You're trying to fit what you're doing into this specific example.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect fit. That's where the confusion is coming from.
Oh.
So it doesn't have to look exactly like this. It has to fit whatever you're doing. So yours could say like Monday here, and you said you eat a snack, lunch, and dinner, right?
Right.
Then you could just say snack, lunch, dinner, and put I or O, depending on whatever it is.
Where I eat. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can then easily calculate. So if you have your 2 weeks of data, then you say, okay, well, I ate, what would be 5 times out and 10 times in, or whatever the numbers turn out to be. You can do that. So then your chart would actually be a little bit simpler. It would be
so it doesn't. Okay.
Now, and this is where data is important because it has to be meaningful to help you. So you can then compare later on. You're going to do the same thing after whatever intervention you come up with.
Okay.
So what that means is now you can compare Monday through Sunday, 2 weeks, Monday through Sunday twice, and then Monday through Sunday twice, and you can compare and see if there's any, hey, on Tuesday, I blew it every single time. What's going on Tuesday? You know what I mean? So then you could kind of dig deeper because the data gives you a path to follow. If I ate out, every single meal on Tuesday, what's going on Tuesday. Now you can look and see, okay, is there something going? Do I have meetings, school meetings? So you can see kind of what's forcing that.
Okay, so after you're done with all that, you look at the patterns of what you, of your marks and stuff to see what happens to get that data. What causes this data to be the way it is?
Yes.
I got it. Okay.
And you're going to be able to compare no intervention to intervention and see if the intervention actually helped.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna stop looking at the sample because the sample is confusing me. If I don't have to fit mine into that,
no, then
I don't. Okay, now I'm not gonna look at that. It's bothering me.
Yeah, what you need is a table that displays your data in a way that is understandable.
Okay.
That's what you need. Now this one is a very simple because they're just doing a tally, and then and obviously just using the days and how many times they do something. So this could be, nail biting, whatever it is, and they made a chart. So the table just has to represent what you do in a way that's easy to understand.
Okay, I got it.
And so let's break this project down. I'll open this twice. I did. So I'm going to break this project down to what we're going to do this week, 2 weeks. So everybody's already selected their behavior.
Yeah.
Now, this week, part 2 is where we're going to be at for 2 weeks. Okay, so we're going to track, well, that doesn't highlight very well, but we're going to track the baseline data. What is tracking the baseline data? Whatever you're doing, mark it, write it down, whatever that may be. And then once you get that, you're going to put the results into the chart. The chart, like what we just talked about, is it needs to be meaningful as far as how it displays your data. It doesn't have to look like the sample. Sample's just samples.
Okay.
And some people will have charts and tables that replicate that pretty closely because they're looking at something. Okay, I'm just testing my habit of doing X, right? That's the thing. And so for part 2, you're just going to have that one document with the numbers, the table, and the chart. That's it.
Okay, then I'm not going back and recreating something that's already there. And okay.
No.
Thank you, because I was getting mad yesterday.
Okay.
All right, so that's a lot simpler than I was thinking it was. Okay, so we just 2 weeks before behavior changes and 2 weeks after.
Yeah. Right. And so once we do the 2 week, once we gather the data for the 2 weeks, then we're going to come up with you're going to start coming up with your goal and your intervention strategies prior to the 2 weeks being over, but you're not going to implement them.
Okay.
Because you want to be able to give it a little bit of thought.
So I can still eat crazy right now then, right? I can go eat wherever, whenever. I'm not implementing things right now.
Well, but you just want a baseline, so don't change. just do you, whatever that is. Just
all right, sure.
Whatever you is, you
more
do.
Sense.
Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense.
If you want to binge on In and Out and Netflix, go for it. But,
Okay. Let me try and think of if I had other questions for this assignment, because I hadn't thought very much about the intervention part. I think like this is not really something people can help me keep track of or help me with, because it's just, you know what I mean? This is my habit of eating. So I think my intervention is probably going to be just a very simple, like, go eat at home instead of eating lunch out on Wednesday, or, something like that. But I think as I go further into what part 3 might look like, because it's kind of detailed on here, but I guess if mine doesn't have to look like that, I'm not worried about it.
And I just want to say something about the goals. So you're going to identify the conditions, the stimulus conditions, and you're going to write that in a paragraph. But the goals, now this is the key. If you want a goal to work, it has to be detailed. It can't be. Yeah. So that's the key, because what happens is when we make a goal and we do not give it detail, it's no longer binary. In other words, it's not a on or off, a yes or a no. There becomes a large gray area, and we can do a lot of backsliding in gray area.
Yeah.
You know, we can say, well, this Skittle's okay for now. Or, well, this is just once. I can do this. But if you have that goal that's very binary, right or wrong, yes or no, on or off, guess what? That you're less likely to backslide.
That makes sense, because you have the details of what you want it to look like. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put some thought into how I would write these, because oh my gosh.
So that's what, and that takes reflection on your part. So it's my hope that you and everybody else struggles with this a little bit, because the gift is in the struggle.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
I guess so.
Yeah, it is, because when we struggle with something, that's where we find a deeper meaning with it.
Yeah.
And that's when we really internalize it. That's what we do.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back and kind of look at what I have. I think I started by tallying snacks and meals and stuff on a calendar, and I put a table in for each date on the calendar. So I think I can continue that way.
Yeah.
And then I'll just have that be my little table thing, and it doesn't have to look like the other one. Okay, that's a big relief to know.
Okay, good.
That's
So I'm not getting an email.
No, I'll go back and delete it right now, or later today. I couldn't even form my questions yesterday. I was like so mad that I just slept on it. So no, I'll go back and delete that.
And just for the record, I don't know.
Sorry?
Just for the record, for anybody watching this, I don't know if we talked about the email prior to the recording. So if anybody wants to get a hold of me, feel free. I'm easy to get a hold of. So I didn't want anybody to think that we were talking about not emailing me or anything like that.
Oh no, that was just me not sending an email that I was working on sending you.
Yeah. So
about this assignment.
If I didn't do my job today in the live session here, then I'd get the email. It was a fun joke we just had. So, you know.
Yeah.
For anybody that's watching now going, what in the world? So any other questions on the assignment?
I don't think so. I think I was stuck at part 2, and I think I'm gonna go from there, and I'll probably have more questions as it comes up.
So let's just stick with parts 1, 2, and start reflecting on part 3. Let's not even worry about the data collection report yet, because if you look at everything, it can be a lot, but if you just focus on the separate parts, it's very doable.
Okay, it's probably a lot more manageable that way, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't even like looking at projects like this. I'll look at it and get that, you know, what's the end game, if you will, but then I go in and just knock out piece by piece. That's how you get it done.
Okay.
Yeah, just put that focus on a near-term goal that you can hit, and you know you can make the table. You know you can have the same eating habits as you've had your life, and then and write those down or whatever.
Okay. Can you go into the discussion?
Yeah.
Please.
The old self-assessment. Am I on the right week? Did I?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I think I read it once. I don't know what it entails. Let me see. Utilize chapter 7 resources. Okay, can you go down?
Mm-hmm.
Please. Oh, we make up the person. Okay, I get it. It says choose the age and cultural background. So
yeah,
we make up the person.
Yeah, so because what's interesting is culturally, we could talk about organizational culture, we could talk about society's cultures that we have in society. The way we look at things is different.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's just the way it is. We all look at stuff different. So this is a neat opportunity where we get to pick up who Tammy is and look at it from that lens. We always want to. We know the behaviors from up here,
Right.
but now we get to kind of build a bigger picture, because what happens a lot of times is we'll just look at behavior when that's not the whole picture. You know, there's all kinds of, there's cultural things, societal things, personal things, physical things, environmental things that are all affecting it. So we need to kind of pull back and have a broader perspective over just the behavior.
Okay, so I'm gonna share this discussion. Okay, so this one I can do. All right, I think I'm okay.
And what's neat, if I could just say one quick thing, is what's neat is when we pull back and we look at all the different things that shape or create this behavior, then we can find multiple ways of changing it. Is kind of the bottom line. So it's nice to not just look at, you get real myopic and close and look at the behavior.
Okay. I don't think I have any more questions. I think that's it for me.
Oh, good. And when we went over the assignment, that's what I was hoping to go through. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for coming, Gail. Appreciate you. Always good to talk with you.
Nice to see you. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye.